There's an alarming trend to report tonight on the state of mental health in our country. New numbers show depression is at an all-time high in the United States. Figures from a Gallup poll show nearly 30% of all adults have been diagnosed with depression at some point in their lives, and nearly 18% are currently being treated for or have depression. Both rates are the highest since Gallup began its measurements in 2015. The greatest increases are among women and young adults, while depression rates for Black and Hispanic adults are rising at about twice the rate as they are for white adults. Joining us now to talk more about this disturbing trend is Dr. Jen Caudle, Associate Professor of Family Medicine at Rowan University. Doctor, we had the Surgeon General on this show a couple of weeks ago warning of a crisis of loneliness in our country. This new poll showing record high depression rates in our country. What's going on?
Yeah, well, there's a lot going on, I think. And honestly, as a family doctor, I have spoken to more of my patients about anxiety and depression symptoms than I ever have in my 15-year medical career. I have prescribed more antidepressants, sent more people to therapy. I absolutely believe these numbers, and I think the reasons are multifactorial. Not only have we had COVID, but we've had this loneliness epidemic that the Surgeon General talked about. We also have jobs, people having issues with jobs, the workforce. There's a lot of reasons at play here, but suffice it to say, it's a problem.
But it's, you look back in the history of our country, there have been times when times were tough. We had, unemployment is actually at a record low right now. There have been times when unemployment's been very high. There have been other economic stressors going on. What's happening that especially is affecting women, young adults, and minority communities of color?
So you have a really good point there, and that is true about employment. But when I say jobs, I'm also talking about specifically what has happened with the jobs in the last couple of years. We were having rising cases of rates of depression before the pandemic, but the pandemic changed almost everything. Not only did people become almost more lonely and isolated, but with jobs, people in healthcare professions, myself included, we struggled. And I will say this, we are still struggling, by the way. So when we think about jobs and job issues, it's not just about the number of people that are employed versus not. It's about the stressors and the stress that our jobs have and how that plays a role and a toll on us. That's just one thing, though. When it comes to people of color and women, et cetera, we know that racial health disparities still exist, and also in the mental health space. When I say it's multifactorial, there are a number of things. We're also on our devices more than we ever have been.
Yeah.
Isolation, et cetera.
How much does, especially with the young adults, we've seen this connection. Depression and anxiety started rising pre-pandemic. Right, you can chart it with social media.
Well, I do think that social media definitely has changed the way that we interact with people. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if social media has played a role in, well, no, I'm going to say this. I do believe social media has played a role in our mental health in multiple different ways. And I'm not saying that social media is the cause of the rising cases of depression, but we do know on social media there are a lot of videos and things like that that sometimes contribute to our mental health.
Right.
So, yes, it's a lot of things.
Wow, a lot of things. It's hard not to see a connection between the loneliness and the depression, both at record highs. Dr. Caudle, thanks so much for being here. It's important just to be aware of what's going on so you can maybe start to address different behavioral changes you can make in your own life, or go talk to your doctor. Yes. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.